Hey, what's good, everybody? My good people out there. Just chiming in here. Wanted to talk about a few things here. Mainly, the topic is about relationships here. And let me pause this here. Hold on. Let me pause this. And basically, to me, I think one of the biggest things that happens in relationships is competition. I'm sure you all can agree with that. I mean, whether it's competition on who should have the most say so on how to run the bills, competition on how your parents raised you compared to how your spouse's parents raised them, on how to raise your children. So there's many different things. So I was listening to this podcast and I'm trying to dissect some of the things that they were talking about on this podcast about relationships and competition. So I'm listening to this. I didn't sign up for this. But when you truly know the meaning of marriage, you truly understand how it should work, and that it's not just what our beliefs are in our mind, what we make up what it should be, but we understand the true purpose of how a marriage works, then you move differently.
Yeah. And I take it even a step further. It's not even that you will always have passion for it. Because me and you talk on this podcast constantly about how we went through our season where we didn't wake up every day passionate about being in each other's presence, passionate about being married to each other. But when you feel like you're called to actually serve the person you're in a relationship with, you'll still serve them in the days where
you're positioned to do something. So that was one of the things that comes up. So you talk about competition, like say somebody's got to pretty much drive the ship, or someone's got to take the lead, and it doesn't necessarily, traditional, you always think the guy should take the lead. Now the female could take the lead, and then the guy could kind of just as long as he has a lot of say so, he can kind of let her kind of lead and guide. But then ultimately, I always believe that he should at least kind of have some say so on the final decision. All right, my bad. I got cut off, so I'm gonna finish this. What we were talking about relationships and competition. So I was listening to this podcast and this nice couple. I think it's Devon and Asha. I think their name is this couple, and they always have a lot of good topics on there. So I just wanted to get everybody's take, and just wanted to, again, like I was saying, I was kind of trying to filter through or dissect, or however you want to look at it. So hold on, let me see if I can play this thing here.
in my journey in life, the first person I called when I got off the stage was you. Because I wanted you, because you couldn't be there, I wanted you to feel like you were there. I wanted you to tell the detail. And the moment I opened up my mouth, Asha, I kid you not, when I'm telling you this, when I'm inside the dressing room and you have this big smile on your face and you like dancing in the background while you holding the phone, I was like, man, thank you, God. Like seriously, because a lot of times in relationships, I know we're talking about having a competition in a relationship. People hide the good things that happen to them because they know deep down inside their partner not really happy for them.
Yeah.
Because it didn't turn into a competition. Y'all trying to see who can do better at life instead of coming together and see how y'all can do better at life together. So the fact that I have somebody that I know much before I went on stage, because that's how important you are.
25 here. Hold on just a minute. Let's see where we at. Okay, so um, where we at with this is that, so we got the couple, and the one guy was talking about, so when you talk about competition, it's kind of, when there's a lot of competition, it's kind of hard to use your spouse as a support, because if you're trying to compete, anybody you're trying to compete with, you don't normally consult with a person you compete with. And that's in any industry, sports, whatever, generally, and unless you're really good friends. But and you all trying to piggyback off of each other's success. But a lot of times, if the competition exists, it's kind of hard to go to each other for support when you need them. And so if you can get that out of your head and you stop thinking about the competition and hey, I'm trying to show that I'm the better of the couple. I'm the one that always has the best ideas and all of that stuff. So this guy, listen to what he was talking about on how he views the support of his wife anytime he's getting into something. So most guys that think, hey, I'm going to do this. I don't need your help. I want to show you. And not saying I don't need your help in a bad way, but more or less to letting you know that, hey, I'm a man. I can take control of this. And I'm not going to pull you into this. I just want to be able to show you, hey, I can do this by myself. I can pull us up. But having the guts and the audacity to think that you, or I should say, having the audacity to think that you're better. One cup person is better than the other. It's kind of a downfall. So just real quick before I keep baffling on you, I just want you to listen to what he was talking about. So hold on here.
Competition, y'all trying to see who can do better at life instead of coming together and see how y'all can do better at life together. So the fact that I have somebody that I can call and is extremely excited for me, you help me relive that moment. Yeah. That's the good thing about having positive relationships in your life, your positive spouses. When I got off that stage, I was able to relive that moment, although I was no longer in the moment because of the way that you reacted, the questions that you asked me. And I'm just thankful for that because like I said, I know a lot of people don't have that, or even, I know I'm getting long-winded, but I'm just thinking about everything that you've done. When they first reached out to me and they said they wanted me to come on there and talk about the topic of relationships, the first thing I said, let me talk to my wife about it. And I called you and I said, babe, listen, I turn this down if they only want me. Because competition. I turn this down if they only want me. Because we started this together. So we gonna go on that stage together. And you said, Devon, no. Yeah. Number one, I ain't ready for that stage. But this is something you always dreamed about. Yeah. And I want you to get on there. And I was like, man, what is it about this woman? It's like I said, I feel like it's a blessing because I get to witness, I want to say, like your second chance at life. Right? And we had this discussion before where I said I didn't know you when we were younger. So I didn't get to see the struggle and the journey that you went through to get to the NFL. The injuries that you overcame.
Acknowledging he needs his wife and support. To you before, but I think it's the type of pain that you only share with the people closest to you. Yeah, because it's crazy. Yeah, it's hard, and I witnessed that. So, and seeing you transition over the years to making that exit and pivoting and going in this new direction with your lives and trying to really ground yourself in what it is that you wanted to do. I was happy that I was able to witness that journey because I believed in you. I'm like, for someone to get to that level in their career, to go through all of that, and we know that uh, I ain't even want to say everybody, most people aren't going to make it to the NFL. Yeah. So to get to that level, you had to be passionate. You had to be driven. So I knew that you had something in you that was different, that was going to keep you pushing, that perseverance, that grit. And so go ahead, speak that positive psychology. I didn't look at your exiting that part of your life as a downfall or a failure. It was a setback, but I knew that it was preparing you for your comeback in the long run, right? And I was happy that I was able to witness that growth in that journey because I knew that you had so much more potential. That you were, I knew the man outside of the uniform. And I knew that everybody
that's in that uniform one day is going to have to hang it up. And a lot of people aren't able to reinvent themselves. They aren't able to have or find their identity outside of them being on that field. And so me seeing you going through that and saying, you know what, you're not just a football player, you're so much more than that. So now we had the opportunity to go this journey and really see who Devon still is.
Yeah.
The man. And to see you evolve, and I've literally seen that and witnessed that. And so I didn't look at had the opportunity to go this journey and really see who Devon still is.
Yeah.
The man. And to see you evolve, and I've literally seen that and witnessed that. And so I look at it, I don't want to I feel like I'm getting emotional. But
why you trying to hide your emotions?
Because it's like, oh wait, oh my gosh. But it's like I look at it as like being a mom and being a nurturer, right? And I see so many people, women, I'll say on social media saying, I'm not his mom, I'm not about to do this, that, and the third. But when you're a true nurturer, it doesn't matter if it is your spouse, your children, or the people around you, the community, you want to pour into them. Like you, just like if you have a plant, you want to pour in it to see it grow so that you can harvest and use what that plant is there for. Mm-hmm. And that's how I look at our relationship as you as my husband. Is not have the opportunity to go this journey and really see who that to grow. I don't want to dim the light that you had within you. I don't want to not help you, because that's what a helpmate is for. And so many people get so lost in what they think a wife or a spouse is supposed to be, and don't really try to better that person they're with. And I saw how broken you were. I saw how hurt you was. And I'm like, this is my opportunity to really come in and help him build and realize that he's so much more. And that you didn't, your potential doesn't have to just end when you walked away from your career or you hung up your uniform. It's just the beginning of a new opportunity. So that's why I say it's like your new life or you being reborn, because this is completely different from the man that you was before, the road that you was walking down.
We got a podcast talking about relationships.
Listen, but it's just like the work that you're doing now is so impactful. It's changing so many people's lives that to grow. I don't want to dim the light that you had.
Okay, so yeah, so that's it. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. So it's just the whole thing about trying to get away from competition. That's usually the biggest, can be one of the biggest downfalls. So listening to this couple and they're telling their stories, how in one case the husband, he got the call for the podcast, and so it's both him and his wife, they were actually doing it together and built it together, but they only wanted him on the show. So he let him know, hey, I'm going to talk to my wife. If she says a no-go because she can't be involved, or she doesn't feel comfortable with it like that, then it's going to be a no. So, but then the wife, like I was saying before, thinking, hey, even though we built this together, you go ahead and represent. And so that took a huge part on. That was a huge part of a huge part in improvement on getting away from competition, to allow him to do that, knowing that he could be going to the next level with this. And so now if she was competitive, she'd be like, no, because that's going to take you higher, then now your ego's going to go up. So long story short, so, and then getting on his side, when he actually, before he went to the show, he's making sure he's calling his wife, talking with her. He wanted her to pray for him. He wanted some advice from her. So it's still a two-way street. He knows he can't get on that podcast and talk about relationships without ideas and the support of his wife. So just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk some more about relationships later, but competition, I want to focus on that one and see if people can kind of understand that and try to, help build relationships and let people see some of the things that if we can get away from, it could help build stronger connections between the two. Okay? So, yeah, I'm going to get back on this here, but I'll see you all in a little bit. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to pause out right here now, and I'm going to jump back on and finish it.